For those who are joining us on live stream, we thank you for your attendance. And today we're going to be speaking from Exodus chapter 28. If you have your Bibles, you can follow along. And if you don't, then just pray along. But we thank you for your participation, and we look forward to God blessing you in a mighty way. Chapter 28, verse 1. And thou shalt take unto thee Aaron and thy brother, and his sons with him, from among the children of Israel, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office, even Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, Ithamar, Aaron's sons. Now, I'd like to point out that these are all Aaron's sons. Until today, or yesterday when I was studying this, I guess I really didn't realize that Aaron had that many sons. But these are all his sons, and they will be a part of the priesthood ministry unto the Lord. Verse 2, and thou shalt make holy garments for Aaron thy brother, for glory and for beauty. Verse 3, and thou shalt speak unto all that are wise-hearted, whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom, that they may make Aaron's garments to consecrate him, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. And that just goes to show me that God had a special way of using people. He didn't use just anyone. He said that they were wise-hearted. So that means he had touched them, he had made them, he had molded them, and he had prepared them for the work that he wanted them to do. Verse 4, and these are the garments which they shall make: a breastplate, and an ephod, and a robe, and a broidered coat, a mitre, and a girdle. And they shall make holy garments for Aaron thy brother and his sons, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. And on researching, I thought, this sure is a lot of stuff. Now, they had to do the breastplate and the ephod, which is like a vest, and the robe, and a broidered coat. The mitre was like like a hat, and a girdle. And they shall make holy garments for Aaron his brother and his sons, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office. Verse 5, and they shall take gold and blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen. They didn't just make junk. They didn't just grab it off the assembly line. They had a purpose to everything that they did. And they shall make the ephod of gold, of blue, and of purple, of scarlet, and fine twined linen, with cunning work. Verse 7, and it shall have the two shoulder pieces thereof joined at the two edges thereof, and it shall be joined together. They had like patches on each shoulder that joined the front to the back, with like a little chain or something to hold it on there. So it was the two shoulder pieces joined at the two edges. And verse 8, and the curious girdle of the ephod, which is upon it, shall be of the same according to the work thereof, even of gold, of blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen. And the girdle was like a wide belt that just I thought it was decoration, but I'm sure it has a purpose. So that's just part of what the whole ensemble was. And thou shalt take 2 onyx stones and grave on them the names of the children of Israel. 6 of the names on one stone, and the other 6 names of the rest on the other stone, according to their birth. Everything has a purpose. God didn't just allow them to do anything willy-nilly. You know, I just have to take the time right now to say, when Bishop said we're going to be studying Exodus, my face fell because I thought, what do we need to study Exodus for? But in the process of studying Exodus, I have learned so much in God's purpose for his people. Everything has a reason and a purpose. And if we're obedient and follow what he's called us to do, we will be his blessing. Okay, and then verse 9, and thou shalt take 2 onyx stones and grave on them the names of the children of Israel. Okay, I read that before. And 10, 6 of their names on one stone, and the other 6 names of the rest on the other stone, according to their birth. With the work of the engraver in stone, like the engravings of a signet, thou shalt engrave the 2 stones with the names of the children of Israel. Thou shalt make them to be in set ouches of gold. Now, I looked up ouches, and that's like pouches. And thou shalt put the 2 stones upon the shoulders, like those 2 things that they had on each side of the ephod, for stones of memorial unto the children of Israel, and Aaron shall bear their names before the Lord upon his 2 shoulders for a memorial. And thou shalt make ouches of gold, and 2 chains of pure gold at the ends of wreathen work shalt thou make them, and fasten them. See, they're going to be fastened on each shoulder. And fasten them, the reaches, chains on the ouches. And thou shalt make the breastplate of judgment with cunning work. After the work of the ephod thou shalt make it of gold, of blue, and of purple, and of scarlet, and of fine twined linen shalt thou make it. 4 square it shall be doubled. A span shall be the length thereof, and a span shall be the breadth thereof. And thou shalt set it in the settings of stone, even 4 rows of stones. The first row shall be a sardonyx, a topaz, a carbuncle. This shall be the first row. And the second row shall be an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. And the third row, a ligure, an agate, and an amethyst. And the 4th row, a beryl, and an onyx, and a jasper. They shall be set in gold in their enclosings. Now, I did look at a picture of this, and it is absolutely beautiful, because God didn't short anything that he wanted for his people. These were his priests, so he wanted them to have the best of everything. And the stone shall be with the names of the children of Israel, 12 according to their names, like the engravings of a signet. Every one with his name shall be according to the 12 tribes. And thou shalt make upon the breastplate chains at the ends of wreathen work of pure gold. And thou shalt make upon the breastplate 2 rings of gold, and shalt put the 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate. And thou shalt put the 2 wreathen chains of gold in the 2 rings which are on the ends of the breastplate. And the outer 2 ends of the 2 wreathen chains shalt thou fasten in the 2 ouches, and put them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod before it. And thou shalt make 2 rings of gold, and thou shalt put them upon the 2 ends of the breastplate in the border thereof, which is in the side of the ephod inward. So it's not going to be just on the outside, it's going to be on the inside, not visible to the naked eye, but it's there. And 2 other rings of gold shalt make, and shalt put them on the 2 sides of the ephod underneath, toward the forepart thereof, over against an other coupling thereof, above the curious girdle of the ephod. And they shall bind the breastplate by the rings thereof unto the rings of the ephod with a lace of blue. Now this is my first reading of lace in this Exodus. That it may be above the curious girdle of the ephod, and that the breastplate may not be loosed from the ephod. And Aaron shall bear the names of the children of Israel in the breastplate of judgment upon his heart, when he goeth in unto the holy place for a memorial before the Lord continually. And think about this, it's his responsibility to have this above his heart. It's his responsibility to go in there and lift those people up before the Lord for God's glory's sake and for their repentance. And thou shalt put in the breastplate of judgment, this is verse 30, the Urim and the Thummim, and they shall be upon Aaron's heart when he goeth in before the Lord. Now the Urim and the Thummim, they're in Revelation because God used them according to his will. And Aaron shall bear the judgment of children of Israel upon his heart before the Lord continually. Verse 31, and thou shalt make the robe of the ephod all of blue, and there shall be a hold in the top of it, and in the midst thereof it shall have a binding of woven work round about the whole of it, as it were the whole of the habergeon, that it be not rent. And beneath upon the hem of it thou shalt make pomegranates of blue and of purple and of scarlet round about the hem thereof, and bells of gold between them round about. Now Bishop had talked to us about the bells and the pomegranate before. You know, if the priest goes into the Holy of Holies and they don't hear that sound, then, well, somebody had to pull them out. But now in looking at those, you know, in the process of him describing that to me in the last few weeks, I thought they were big, but they're actually little things, little pomegranates, little bells, enough to make a noise when the priest walks. And a golden bell and a pomegranate, a golden bell and a pomegranate, they just interchange back and forth upon the hem of the robe round about. And it shall be upon Aaron to minister, and his sound shall be heard when he goeth in unto the holy place before the Lord, and when he cometh out, that he die not. You know, and I think, granted this is Old Testament, and that's the way they did things then, but I was thinking that in the process of the way the world is now, there needs to be some accountability. You know, that the pastors and preachers and, you know, you just can't go by everything they say. You got to know the word for yourself. But there's got to be some accountability to make them think that I just can't get up here and say and do anything because somebody's watching. And thou shalt make a plate of pure gold, and grave upon it like the engravings of a signet, holiness to the Lord. And thou shalt put it on a blue lace, that it may be upon the mitre, upon the forefront of the mitre it shall be. And it shall be upon Aaron's forehead, that Aaron may bear the iniquities of the holy things which the children of Israel shall hallow in their holy gifts. And it shall always be his upon his forehead, that they may be accepted before the Lord. And see, that just goes to show you that the bishop, the pastor, according to this, they have a responsibility.
Yes.
You know, they just can't do things willy-nilly and think it's okay because they're the bishop or the pastor. No, but it says here that the children are going to be blessed according to the way he blesses them, because he's responsible and accountable. And thou shalt embroider the coat of fine linen, and thou shalt make the mitre of fine linen, and thou shalt make the girdle of needlework. And for Aaron's sons thou shalt make coats, that shall make for them girdles, and bonnets thou shalt make for them for glory and for beauty. 41, and thou shalt put them upon Aaron thy brother, and his sons with him, and shalt anoint them, and consecrate them, and sanctify them, for they may minister unto me in the priest's office. And thou shalt make them linen breeches to cover their nakedness, from the loins even unto the thighs they shall reach. And they shall be upon Aaron and upon his sons when they come in unto the tabernacle of the congregation, or when they come near unto the altar to minister in the holy place, that they bear not iniquity and die. It shall be a statute forever unto him and his seed after him. This is instruction. All of Exodus has been instruction, but some things hit me harder than others. You know, bishop has a responsibility. Preachers and pastors have a responsibility and an accountability, but so do I. You know, the bishop preached the word, finish your assignment. That thing hit me so hard. It hit me like a ton of bricks. You know, granted, there have been times that I didn't feel well, but that doesn't matter. You know, I still have a responsibility, and I have to lean not unto my own understanding, trust in the Lord with all my heart, and he's going to lead me to be able to do what he's called me to do. I'm not going to be here forever, and I want him to say, good and faithful servant, well done. I don't want him to say, depart from me, you know, you do of iniquity, I never knew you. So I'm grateful for the instruction, even though I said, Bishop, I get a little sore throat, even though I said, Bishop, we don't want to do Exodus. But it's been very, very beneficial to me, and I can say with everything in me that I'm grateful. I really am grateful, because it just goes to show me that God has used him, and he knows better than I knew when I said I didn't want to do it. Well, I didn't actually say I didn't want to do it, but I really didn't want to do it. Well, I was nice about it. So why we got, what? I don't know, he mocks me very well. But anyway, it's been a very good thing, and I've learned a lot, and I don't mind sharing. So we give all praise and glory to the Lord, and if we have any questions, we will direct them to Bishop.